former New England Patriot Matt Light. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, sir. Yes, what a game. Loved every second.
Now, some suggest that it is classless to be celebrating the fact that the Chiefs did not or will not be considered a dynasty.
Yeah, the Chiefs are classless.
I believe that is our right and our obligation as fans of the New England Patriots. You would probably agree.
Well, listen, I mean, hey, look, if they would have won, I would have said they deserved to. I mean, that's kind of what happens when one team beats another one, barring, some crazy, ridiculous ref ruining the game, which I kind of thought was going to happen. I think the whole world thought that the refs were going to dictate the outcome of the game again, but real men play the game of football, and those guys up front for Philly on both sides of the ball played really, really good football, and the world is now right. And I know Taylor's probably still crying. She's going to write a beautiful song. It'll come out in June. The Swifties will be happy. We'll be able to relive the misery all over again, and we'll still be smiling. But, the game outside of the game was probably the worst ever. I think you guys have had to have been talking about the halftime show, the commercials. I mean, what has happened?
Don't get Wiggy started.
Hey, I'm a Kendrick fan. I didn't mind it.
He says you and I we're near boomers. We can't relate. We didn't appreciate the brilliance of the halftime show, Matt.
I mean, seriously. I mean, what was it about it that really lit you on fire? I feel like you could go to the producers of The Voice or even like the elementary school, playground. You would have found better choreography, better, excitement. I mean, what about that halftime show made you get on your feet or feel anything but just, ugh?
Serena Crip walking. I enjoyed that. But I like his music, though.
Yep.
But Matt, you know what it's like? The halftime show, and I said this to Greg off the air, is like how we used to have the music in the locker room. It's every day. It depends on who is controlling that music aux. And
who has the aux?
Yeah, whose day is it to play the music? Is it a rap day? Is it a country day? Is it a heavy metal rock and roll day? That's the way it is. And so a lot of people are not that they're not Kendrick fans, but just some people don't know him as much as others do.
Yeah, but I would. Yeah, hey, listen, man, a good beat's a good beat, right? Like I can get down to anything. I mean, but I would have liked to have seen a little bit more collaboration. Like some transitions. I mean, look, I'm no musical hero, but I mean, it just didn't seem to have the flair that I mean, it's the halftime of the Super Bowl. Where was the pyrotechnics? Where was the big screens? Or where was somebody riding an elephant? I mean, my God, we've seen some really good stuff. Give me anything, baby, anything.
Nobody flew like Lady Gaga. No. At least she flew down from the top.
She did do that.
They did have a small car.
How about a wardrobe? How about a wardrobe malfunction? Just give me something, damn it.
They had a small car, and a lot of people got out of it.
That
was a little bit.
They had the Grand National over there.
Grand National. I love that car. That's a great.
Hey, by the way, I do too, and I made a terrible error right when they showed that. I said that was a Monte Carlo, and I was corrected immediately by the guy to my right.
Yeah. But you weren't happy. You brought up commercials. You weren't happy with the commercials?
No, I mean, okay, listen. So I think a lot of us in New England were looking for that Dunk commercial, right? That Dunkin' classic commercial. Yeah. I thought last year was pretty great. This year, what was the theme? I mean, other than Bill's dating a very young girl.
I mean, I guess it was that they're trying to replace Matt Damon. Matt Damon's not doing. I mean, I don't know. There were some. I guess it's year to year whether the commercials are great or not. There was nothing that blew me away with how great it was. I will agree with that.
They don't do the old ones like the Budweiser. That was always the best commercial. Yeah, they don't do that stuff anymore.
The thing, Matt, that
I hate Bud.
The thing that I get a little bit kind of annoyed with is everything has to be so military based and you're selling a Jeep. Like Harrison Ford, what makes America great?
Well, that wasn't military. Oh, well, I guess they had.
It's like we love America, but you're selling a Jeep. Give me something with a little bit more of that. I thought the guy was going to cry at one point. He was like, when you're walking with your dogs.
I thought that was a pretty good. I thought that was a pretty good ad.
Did you really?
Yeah, I didn't mind that.
No, man, you're selling.
But is it? Am I crazy to just want to laugh? I mean,
yes.
I don't know. I mean, I like the sentimental stuff. I like the story within the story. I like the patriotic. But my God, we're going to break. We're going to get at least 2 or 3 commercials. Can just one of them make me snicker a little bit? I'm not asking that much. I want to laugh.
Matt, you're biased, but and we understand that. But what does Mahomes have to do to get to Tom Brady level?
Well, I mean, he's going to win a few more Super Bowls for sure, right? I mean, I think that number that Tommy, has, right, is kind of insurmountable in most people's eyes, but Patrick Mahomes has a chance to get there, and he's a young player. He's a guy that makes just some incredible plays. He's really good with the ball in his hands. But look, I mean, we saw it. How do you beat Patrick Mahomes? I mean, we watched Tampa Bay do it. We now have seen the Eagles do it. You get after him. You put pressure on him. He's like anybody else. What did they say about Tom Brady? The greatest to ever do it. Get pressure on him, and he's going to make some mistakes. Okay, that's the formula, and you saw it last night. So I think look, he's gonna be in the Super Bowl again. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, I don't know how long Andy Reid's gonna be around. I don't really care if Travis Kelce's there. He's the kind of guy that elevates the people around him. So give him another 5 or 6 years, and let's see where he's at that point.
Matt, how pissed are you that Brady mentioned Lonnie Paxton and not you on the Super Bowl broadcast?
Oh, I am so glad, dude. You're amazing. I wanted to bring this up. I love that. I literally texted him immediately, and I was like, look at you go, baby. Look at you go. Hey, we just kicked around an old, on a text thread with a whole bunch of us old timers from back in the day. We retreaded this special that aired with Lonnie Paxton and all these other guys Adam Vinatieri was in it, and they were basically talking about him dating Jessica Biel or something. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was a great little piece, and now he's mentioned again at the Super Bowl. God love Lonnie Paxton. Greatest long snapper of all time.
Lonnie Paxton dated Jessica Biel?
In this piece, he did. It was about everything going to his head after doing the Snow Angel and him becoming it was a really good piece. It was an ESPN special, whatever kind of thing. It was great.
Yeah. What about, are you surprised that Vinatieri didn't get in, Canton?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know who else. I mean, there's been a lot of great kickers. There have been kickers, making it into the Hall of Fame, of course, obviously. He'll be there. I mean, it was interesting that he's not there at this point, but he'll be there. Look, I mean, guys, I think on this game, right, I think everything about the game for those of us that wanted to see the Eagles win was great, but everything outside of it, we got to do better. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only person. I don't want to beat this horse to death, but there's got to be a better way for the NFL, the most successful, company on the planet, right? I mean, they do really well to make our lives better on Super Bowl Sunday. That was my main point for today.
Well, I was able to fix that, Matt, because I said it should go back. Halftime show should go back to multiple artists from different genres of music so everybody can get to enjoy it. And I do agree with you with the commercials. I thought the Harrison Ford commercial, I thought he was going to turn into Red Hulk because of the Captain America movie and then get in a Jeep and drive away. That's what I'm with Matt. I want to laugh at those commercials. It's like I get the patriotism, but I want to be able to laugh and be entertained. I was just like,
yes. So one other thought on that too is if I wanted to see the stories before the story, right? I think one of the other aspects of the game is you're watching the broadcast 2 to 3 hours before, the players are on the field and they start doing some of that stuff. And there were always these behind the scenes stories that they would develop the characters that were going to be on the field, right? And yes, they did that a little bit, but it was corny. It was choppy. I'd like to develop some of these players, the actual guys that are on the field, the way that they used to do it. 'Cause if you look back, there were some really neat pieces where they really got into their families, their background, what drove them, how they got to where they are today, right? I mean, their upbringing. I miss that too. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah. Matt, I have a question just as, somebody that was part of the first dynasty of this century. Do you look at it the way the Chiefs are covered and just wonder why the same people that are coronating them based on something they have yet to accomplish were always so quick to tell the Patriots and you guys that you hadn't gotten there?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it was a different era, for us. I mean, now look at how, I don't want to say exploited, but the game is just so different. I mean, how people, relate to, success, or how the media, kind of dissects, the game itself and the stories behind the story. It's different. I mean, I think we had to work really hard, to get the kind of respect that now is kind of just given almost across the league, regardless of who the team is.
Well, Matt, it's great to hear your voice. Anything coming up foundation-wise you would like to plug?
Yeah, and it has to do with laughing, which we can, as we've said, do a little bit more of. April 1st, baby. It's a Tuesday this year. And as you know, that's the greatest holiday of the year, April Fool's Day. And we're going to be back at Memoir at the Encore Casino, up there at the beautiful, what town is that? That looks like a nuclear disaster site. But Everett, yes. Okay, so we're going to be in Everett. Great time on the 1st. Kicks off at 6:30. So go to mattlight72.com. Please join us because, by the way, and I can't wait, after that event, we got to get on the show and we got to talk about my greatest prank of all time, which I did last summer, and we're going to air it this year at that event.
The dynasty remains intact. Mm-hmm. So that is good news, and we will talk to you again soon.
Yeah, buddy. Be well.
All right, there's Matt Light, not happy with the Super Bowl.